Yes, sir. Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. In today's video, obviously, I have a very special announcement, and that special announcement is I finally started to buy stocks, but just a little bit. I started to finally nibble a little bit of stocks. Why did I start to do that? Well, to be honest with you guys, there are some stocks I'm seeing that have just gotten so ridiculously cheap. It's like, okay, it kind of makes sense to step in. Now, I want to be very clear on a few things, right? So first off, do I think the stocks will probably go lower? Yeah, I kind of think that they probably will. But at the end of the day, I really don't know. I don't know where the bottom is. I don't know how much further stocks are going to go. I know I said I plan to buy at 3,500, and I still plan to buy at 3,500. But I at least want to nibble right now in this market crash portfolio. And if and when things go lower, I would just nibble again. So before I get into the stocks that I bought, let me just go ahead and go over the rules so nobody can say anything because I explained the rules. The rules of investing are you never go in all at once, right? You only invest based on your situation. So you can't take my personal situation and say, oh, Echoes is buying this. Let me go ahead and put all the money I have into this. It's not a good idea. You have to invest based on your own situation. So what do I mean by that? If you're a type of person who's working minimum wage, you don't have much money. I hate to say this. I know it's not nice, but it's honestly the truth. It's actually good. It's not financial advice, but it's good advice financially, not for me, but just in general. It's just a good rule to follow, right? If you don't have enough income essentially to pay your bills, if you're essentially broke, you honestly shouldn't be investing. You actually should be working on figuring out ways to increase your income because it's a hard truth out here. And a lot of people got tricked by this in 2021. But the honest truth is, putting $500 in AMC or $1,000 in the Shiba Inu isn't going to change your life. It isn't. And if that's all the amount of money that you have to invest, then you need to pivot from investing your money and you actually need to work on bringing in more income. Like that's actually better for you because if you only have $1,000 in your bank account or $2,000 or whatever, and you're putting that all in the stocks, where's your emergency fund, right? You need an emergency fund just in case something goes bad. But I know what a lot of you guys are going to say. Well, I'm poor. I can't afford that. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to build both when I barely have money to begin with? That's not fair. No, that's how life is. So you can't think of what's fair. You have to think of what's practical, right? And so if you're in that position, which I know a few of you guys are in that position, and that's okay. we're here to talk about it, right? We're here to talk about some strategies. If that's you, you need to put more effort into building up your income. Okay. Now, for those of you who are in a similar position to me, where you've got at least 5 figures or more to invest, that makes more sense to invest, right? If you've only got $1,000, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't be investing. I'm not going to say what you should do, but I'm just going to say I wouldn't be investing if I only had like $2,000 to invest, because that's just, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of money, especially when it comes to investing. So I want to make that very clear. The other rule I want to make very clear: for the love of God, I'm going to post what I'm buying and how I'm buying it. For the love of God, pay close attention to portfolio allocation. No stock should make up more than 10% of your portfolio. That is always a general rule because investing in individual stocks, period, is always going to be risky. Okay. So it's very important that you guys understand that. And I'm trying to think if I have anything else. Do not buy in all at once. Very, very dumb. Not a good idea. When you buy stocks, you slowly scale in your money. What does that mean? Let's say you're investing $1,000, right? For me, I would slowly scale into my stocks in $50 increments if I only had $1,000. You see what I'm saying? Like I'd only be putting like 1, 2, 3% of my cash to work, something like that. Like that's the way you do it. You do not take the entire $1,000 and say, oh my God, I'm putting the entire thing in Facebook. That's really, really dumb. You slowly scale in. Because remember, this is going to be a bad year. You're going to have plenty of time to put that cash to work. You're going to have plenty of time. So I would not even worry about it. I wouldn't lose your mind trying to do that. I'm trying to think of any other rules. Oh, the other rules. Here's another rule. Do not copy me. For the love of God, I am posting my portfolio not for you to copy me. I am not telling you to buy the stocks that I'm buying. I am simply posting my portfolio so you can see how I think, what I think, and why I invest the way that I do. The reason why I want to post my portfolio publicly is because you're going to notice that my portfolio doesn't have any crap in it. You're not going to see any SoFi. You're not going to see any Tattooed Chef. You're not going to see any NEO. You're not going to see all the small cap high growth speculation stocks in my portfolio. You're actually going to see a lot of boring companies. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of boredom in old man grandpa. And you know what? That's honestly the best way to invest, because at the end of the day, the old man boring grandpa companies are the companies that are bringing in the cash flow, are the companies that are doing well. Yeah, you'll probably get a 20-30% return out of these companies, but hey, it's better than being minus 50% and getting that portfolio murder she wrote, right? So those are the rules. I hope I've been very clear about this. I'm not even going to bother to read the comments because I don't have time for idiots who do not listen and can't comprehend. But for those who do listen, that's kind of where we're at with it. So what stocks am I buying today now that I have finally decided to put cash to work? Well, I already own Bank of America in another portfolio, but Bank of America is actually my favorite bank stock. It always has been. I'm a customer of Bank of America, and I really like the company. And so Bank of America is really the only bank I'm really looking at. JP Morgan Chase, maybe. But for now, I definitely want to put money in Bank of America. So Bank of America, I will be adding to the market crash portfolio. Remember, a lot of these stocks I already own in other portfolios, but I'm making a whole new market crash portfolio because I think that'll be fun. So Bank of America is going to be in there. And then the other stock that I plan to add is Facebook. Now, I'm closely eyeing Starbucks, but I really want Starbucks in the 60s. So I'm not ready to buy that. I also want Disney. Let me see where Disney's at. I'm sorry. Disney's not in my watch list for some reason. Let me see where Disney's at, because I remember I wanted Disney in the 80s, but I don't know if it went there. I see the market's bouncing a little bit. Sorry, guys. I can't even type. There we go. Disney is at 94. Yeah. No, I want Disney in the 80s, so I'm going to kind of wait for that one. But, yeah, at this point, I think that Bank of America and Meta, which is Facebook, but the ticker symbol is Meta, are the two stocks that I'm comfortable with dollar cost average. Again, I want to make this very, very clear too, guys, because the way that I invest is very safe. The bulk of my portfolio is and will always be the S&P 500. So my three buys is going to be Bank of America, Meta, otherwise known as Facebook, and then I'm also going to buy VOO, which tracks the S&P 500. Those are going to be my big three main buys for right now. Remember, it's only a nibble, so you know, I know idiots are going to come in the comments who can't comprehend and going to say, why are you buying all your money and blah, blah. It's not a buy necessarily. It is a buy, but it's not a heavy buy like you think, right? Like I said, it's not like I've got $10,000 and I'm putting $9,500 into there, right? It's not like that. It's like if I've got $10,000, I'm only putting in like $500 into each. I'm just slowly nibbling, just nibbling a little bit. Why am I nibbling? Because I honestly believe that the S&P 500 has gotten really cheap. I honestly believe that Meta has gotten really cheap. And I honestly believe that Bank of America has gotten really cheap. Those are the reasons why I'm doing that. And so there you guys have it. The public portfolio will be in the description below. So make sure you guys check that out. Once again, I want to make this extremely clear. I do not have a Patreon. I do not have a Discord. I do not have any of those paid services or buy and sell alerts. This is not a buy and sell alert. Do not copy me. Do not copy me. That is not a good idea. You should never follow any YouTuber. What you do is you take what we say, you take what we invest, and you start to think in your head, you know, figure out how we think and why we're doing what we're doing. And then take bits and pieces of that and learn from how we think in our process and then apply it to yourself and then make your own decisions. So do not look and say, oh, Echo is buying Facebook and Bank of America, S&P 500. I'm going to do it too. Do not do that. Look and say, why is this guy buying Bank of America? Let me go research Bank of America. Why is he buying Facebook? Let me go research Facebook. And then once you do research and you look at it and you decide, I see why Echoes bought this one. So I think I'm going to buy Facebook because after doing my own research, I understand why Echoes bought Facebook. Bank of America, I'm not so sure I agree with Echoes on that. So I think I'm going to pass on Bank of America because I don't really agree with Echoes on that. But I do agree with him on buying Facebook and the S&P 500 because I did my own personal research. You know, that's the way that you do this, not blind copying. You saw what blind copying got a lot of people in 2021. Not saying it happened to you, but most of the people who copied these YouTubers, it didn't work out so well. So once again, do not copy me. Do not copy anybody. This is really just for learning purposes. Now, obviously, this is my real portfolio, and these are companies that I'm truly invested in. But I just want to make sure that I am extremely clear in this video. Copying is one of the worst things you could do. Remember, you want to learn how to fish on your own. You don't want to just follow somebody who comes off as a guru. You want to learn how to fish on your own. And like I said, if you want a full breakdown on why I'm bullish on Bank of America and Facebook and things like that, I'd be happy to do that too. We could go over it. I could pull out the discounted cash flow. We could do all that. But for right now, those are the three stocks that I'm buying. So, well, I guess the S&P 500 isn't really a stock, but you know, the index. So S&P 500 index I'm buying, which is VOO, the Vanguard one. Bank of America and Facebook are the 3 buys that I'm doing today. So anyway, there you guys have it. That'll go and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. The portfolio will be down in the description. So hopefully that works out for everybody. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.